Hello and welcome to tonight's show.
Hello and welcome to episode 188 of On the Bench, the podcast for scale modelers by scale modelers, all about scale models. And this show is being brought to you by our latest Patreon supporter, David Langfield, who's decided to join the hallowed ranks of Patreon supporters. You too can be just like David. Simply go to www.patreon.com/onthebench and pledge any amount from as little as $1 per month upwards. Your contributions help with our hosting production costs and are greatly appreciated by us. And to all of our Patreon supporters, you guys are awesome. Got an awesome show coming up for you guys and can't wait to get there. But first of all, before we do that, let's hear from our wonderful sponsor, the Scale Modeler Supply.
Are you looking for top quality paints for your next project? Then look no further than the Scale Modeler Supply, Australia's hobby paint. Hi, I'm Scott, and as a passionate modeler myself, I've spent years creating the SMS product range, designing them specifically with the Scale Modeler in mind. We have worked extensively to develop our acrylic lacquer paint range to not only be airbrush ready straight out of the bottle, but also to be easy to use so that anyone of any skill level can create professional results with minimal effort. Just give the bottle a good shake, pour into your airbrush and spray at 15 psi. So dive into your next project with confidence, knowing that you're backed by one of the finest hobby paints on the market. Head over to our website at scalemodeler.com.au to check out our full range and to find your closest retailer.
And hello and welcome to the show, and in the studio with me I have got Ian.
G'day Dave, g'day Julian, g'day everyone else.
Julian?
Yep, I'm here. It's morning and
Morning.
I've got a
sun's
late
out
morning.
now.
Oh yeah, finally.
sun-
Oh, the
out?
sun is out.
Yes.
Finally.
Yeah.
Didn't think that was going to see that today.
Yeah, been a bit miserable.
Welcome to Melbourne.
Wow. It is winter, and this is
Not yet.
Not yet.
Isn't it?
Still
Oh
autumn.
well, it's a wet part of the year anyway.
That's it. Very true.
You can't have wet without cloud cover, so
That's true.
it goes hand in hand.
Does, mate, yes.
What's been happening? Ian?
Nothing on the modelling building at the moment, but I did purchase a ton of accessories for my XW and XY GTs.
Oh yeah.
So someone mentioned to us that there's a company in Australia that makes all these.
Yep.
Manscale. You've got to get into Manscale models, and he's got a offshoot Micro Resin Designs, and they make some of the nicest 124 scale 3D printed parts like bonnet hinges, interior details, and doorknobs, and you name it. So yeah, I went a bit ballistic and basically bought.
Is that a website or is
one
it
of each.
Facebook?
He's got a website.
Right, okay. Manscale Models.
Manscale Models. So you got to check it out, and he's got a lot of he sells a lot of display tools and stuff, and yeah, his pricing's very good. Delivery was quick, 2 days before I got it. So yeah, that's what I did. I spent a ton of money, so I got a ton of stuff now for me XW and the XY GTs.
Yes.
So no excuse not to build?
Not yet. Still chasing wheels.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's my next thing.
Not gonna start it.
Not yet. Not till I got everything.
No. Okay.
Nothing worse than having a model and having to stop it and then wait for a part to come in so I can buy it, so I can keep going.
Right. So you also, before we started recording, you said that you'd cleared out your
Yes, I gave away nearly 30 kits last weekend.
Wow.
Built
finished kits.
built kits. Yep. So I now have a cabinet that has about 12 kits in it, rather than about close to 40 or 50, whatever was in there.
It's a lot of real estate.
Yes, I was just all old builds that subjects that don't interest me anymore and needed the space. So someone offered to take them, and they had a nice brand new cabinet, glass cabinet. So off they went.
So is there enough room to put your Shikaku in the
I could,
cabinet?
yeah, I probably could.
You gonna?
Not yet. I got to do some running repairs on that.
Oh, okay.
I made a big mistake when I built the Shikaku of not putting extra glue on the wooden deck.
Yeah.
Which has now started to lift in a few areas.
I wonder if you could use a syringe to.
I had the same thought.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, well, get on it then.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, just do it. Just do it. In amongst all those parked aeroplanes that are glued on the deck.
Oh, okay. You glue them on the deck.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you just need to, inject it in there and push it down, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It can't make a bigger mess than you already made, right?
Very true. Very, very true. So, yeah, so that was basically what I've just been doing, just spending a bit of money.
Right. With me, I have been slowly chipping away at this new Gundam build after I finished my Ferrari.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I still haven't taken good photos of to throw up. But I'll get to it at some point. I'll get there. I'll get there and I'll take the photos and I'll put them up.
Yeah, put it up on your bench page.
Yeah, I just don't want to take crapo photos because, if I'm going to take photos, I'm able to take good photos.
Yeah, but if you take crap photos, you'll be able to hide all your poor work.
Boom.
Wow. Scathing attack from Dave this morning.
Shots fired.
So, have you cracked open your car kit yet, Dave?
No.
No. Funny how that works, isn't it?
Well, here's the thing, right? I've got so many things going at the moment. So we had the boys from Waverley Club come up the other weekend to their club meeting because we got Interclub coming up in, I want to say October.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's always after Expo anyway.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's October.
After winter.
And what they do is they drop 2 kits off, and you have to build the 2 kits.
That's right. Yeah.
And one of the kits was a destroyer, a tribal class destroyer. So I put my hand up and said, yeah, I'll build that.
Is that the Trumpeter or Hobby Boss?
Trumpeter.
Trumpeter,
Yeah.
yes.
So
I've probably got that kit at home.
you do. I know you do. But I'm not going to build it as the tribal class. Well, I am going to build the tribal class. But I'm going to build it as a Royal Navy ship, not a Royal Australian Navy ship.
Oh, you're not going to? Because I think I was going to do the Arunta out of mine.
Yeah, I was looking at it, but I found a really cool camouflage scheme that I want to say HMS Zulu.
Zulu.
Yeah, I want to say that, but I don't think it's the right one. But anyway, it's got this really funky sort of camouflage pattern that I want to do. So
right.
I'll be doing it as a real note. But anyway, so I'm
Also, it has to be built out of box, right?
yes, which was going to frustrate the hell out of me.
Yeah.
But so I've got that kit to build, which I need to build. We've got Model Expo coming up very soon. About 4 weeks' time.
Mm-hmm.
And I've still got to finish building that stupid little Italian tankette that I'm building. I hate it. And as well as that, I'm building the other stuff that I enjoy building, which is like the Space 1999 Eagle at the moment, which is coming along slowly. So it annoys me that I'm having...
You got a full dance card.
Yes. But here's the thing with building things that you don't necessarily want to build. It saps your mojo a little bit. You just want to throw them in a bin and just sort of move on to stuff you really want to build. So I'll try and finish this stupid little Italian tank this weekend. Although I don't know how because it's Mother's Day this weekend, so my time's shot there.
Yep.
And then I want to get onto the ship as soon as possible because I know that'll be a time suck as well. So yeah. Anyway.
But if
That's
it's out of
life.
box, it'll take a lot quicker being out of box. So
Yeah, it
you
will,
won't
but
be spending all that time on accessorising it.
Yeah, but then you got to drill the barrels out. And you go,
yeah.
Man, it's just
Drilling the barrels out, it's not really much.
no. And I want to do it. I'm thinking doing really.
What's there, 6 main barrels for the armament? 4 forward, 2 behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to do this fairly heavily weathered as well, so that's going to take.
Ooh, weathering.
Yeah, I'm going to weather it.
Weathering from Dave Goldfinch. It's Rarest currency known to man.
Boom. Jeez.
A bit harsh.
Hey, I don't weather any of my cars either, so it's fine.
You're a bit harsh there.
You got to do a rally car so you can weather the heck out of it.
Oh, speaking of which, my favourite YouTuber has finished his recent build of the Fujimi Isuzu Piazza.
Right.
Which was like a battery-operated toy, basically, and he turned it into a stunning model.
Oh, right. So it was really like a child's toy that he's just rebuilt.
Basically. So he had to do so much work to it. It's ridiculous how much work he put into that thing. And now he's moved on to the next project, which looks like a breather from all the work that he had to do on the previous one.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's a Tamiya kit, and he's even saying, "This kit's so nice, I almost don't want to do anything to it."
just pop together.
Yeah, so apparently, I just look at all the Subaru rally cars that Tamiya make and go, "Oh yeah, it's not much difference between the various different ones." And they must be like all from the 90s. Those kits.
Yes.
No, the one that he's doing with the big, extra lights mounted on the nose.
Yes.
Yeah, that one is a very recent kit. I had no idea.
Oh, right. Okay.
And it's got like a lot of modern sort of additions to it that Tamiya does with their car models these days. So
very cool.
They provide window masks, laser cut, not just printed on a piece of yellow adhesive stuff, and you got to cut it yourself, which they were doing for a little while there.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
Yeah, because they did that with the Storch, didn't they? The Faisal Storch.
Yep.
Yeah, none of that. It's probably laser cut now, and they also provide their new product, I think, in it, which is like a self-adhesive aluminium.
I saw something on YouTube about that.
Yeah.
That's I think was it Will Patterson was asking the question if the adhesive they use is better than everyone else's. So
yeah, well,
that grainy effect.
He did a big deep dive into trying to get the metal foil type stuff to work, and he found it to be very below what he would consider
to be acceptable.
Yeah,
I remember
because
that.
it's a lot of it's to do with the glue on the back, and how you can't apply it very well without the brush strokes of you applying the glue showing up in the finished product.
Yep.
So that's a thing, and having Tamiya go in and make this stuff makes you wonder if it's an improvised modelling product or if it's a purpose-made one.
Yes. No, I'd be interested to see more on that, because that sounds like
I mean, like, there's a video demonstration as you saw of them using it, and it looks fairly impressive, but it's a very polished aluminium sort of look, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rather than dull aluminium.
Exactly.
But I suppose like that, you could always like flat coat it and like sort of work with it a bit to get to something that would be suitable for your average aircraft.
Yep. Very true.
It's interesting because I mean, like, you could use it for a lot of different things. It's shiny enough that you could use it for oleos.
Yes.
Things like that.
Very true. And good for around the trims around windscreens on cars and.
Yeah, see, I don't know about that. Like, I know people do it.
I just find by doing that way, you probably end up wasting a lot of it.
Maybe so, but I don't care about the wastage. I mean, like, you do things to get the best model possible, right? What I'm most concerned about, like, what I don't understand is, like, it works on straight edges for windows, right? But how do you get it to work around curved edges of windows?
Yeah.
You know? I've always wondered, like, how that's done. Are you just, like, putting up with, like, wrinkles in it as it makes its way around that curve? And
unless it's got some flex in the product.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why I just paint mine. I just paint it.
Yeah,
it looks good.
Yeah, that's right. Especially the modern day chrome paints you can buy. It's you're cruising. You got no worries.
Yeah. But I mean, there's like anything, it's just another tool in the toolbox.
In the arsenal, yes.
Yes,
very true.
It's going to have its place somewhere.
Yep, totally agree.
How about you, Dave?
Well, I've already sort of discussed what I'm sort of up to and everything, and
okay.
it's I got nothing more to add.
Yeah. So I am building this gunpla kit for the camphor build on group build on the Built Sideways podcast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Their community's doing that. Yeah.
Yep.
So I've been tinkering away at that, and at first it was going pretty slow, but now it's scooching along.
Oh, good.
Nice.
Yeah.
You get some ideas
I'm-
because you were sort of faffing around for some ideas in regards to what to paint it.
Yeah. I was sort of looking. Initially, I thought, oh, this thing's all like smooth and rounded shapes. So I know I'll do an automotive paint job because I'm an idiot like that. But
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm going to do it like a satin finish. I think that probably looks best. It'll show off the sort of the curvatures without, because if you go flat, it just sort of completely dulls them out.
Oh, yeah,
and
of course.
whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm not going to do that.
Nah.
So
Silly.
I might add some like sort of there's, for example, like there's one part I already want to replace, and there's like these sort of like on the collarbone area of the mech, it's got like these like ribbed hoses that are sort of molded into the plastic piece that goes around there,
Oh, right, yep.
but they look really clunky.
Yep. So
Really
remove
clunky.
them and replace them.
Yeah, so I want to cut those off and replace them with, and what I've got is some 4mm wide spring.
Mm-hmm.
So you can buy like spring that's like 4mm wide.
Yep.
And it sort of looks like a ribbed hose, right? Like most people use it like piano wire and stuff like that. No, not piano, like guitar strings and
Yes.
things, right? For smaller stuff, like, which it suits, 48 scale,
Yeah.
72nd scale or something. But 4mm is pretty wide.
Yeah.
You need a kind of modeling made.
Yeah, it's just run a
Purpose-
wire. It's
purpose-made
just
thing.
a spring. Just run a wire down the middle of it to give you, so you can
Yeah,
actually
or
keep the shape.
some bent sprue, like plastic, some sprue. You know?
Yep.
That's kind of what about the rough width, right? Something similar to that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Very good.
Yeah. So that's
All
what
right.
I've been working on.
Well,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Mm.
We got a ton of mail that came in.
Sorry,
Hang on. Is it-
I already just remembered something else. So late last night, just before I went to bed, I pulled the trigger on another kit.
Okay.
So I ordered. I saw that. I saw a kit of because have you heard of this site called Super Hobby
Yes, I have. Yes.
in Poland? I think it is.
Yep.
Yeah, they seem to have like a lot of range, and for some reason they got like really super recent releases of Hasegawa car kits,
Oh, right. Okay.
like kits that I can't get from Japan.
That released. That new.
It's
Wow.
weird. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but in any case, I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to order it from Poland because otherwise it'll kill me in shipping, and
Oh, yeah.
it'll
The freight
take
will cost you a fortune.
take 3 months to get here or something.
Yeah.
So instead, what I did is it told me about a kit that I wanted, and then I just ordered it from Hobbyco.
Yep.
And then what it is, it's the old Celica, like the one I built previously and mucked up the paint job on.
Yep.
It's like that, but it's got fender flares and sort of like nice wheels on it.
Right.
So it's a better boxing of the one I previously had.
Just don't muck it up.
Yeah, just don't make it up this time.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
that's about it.
All right, back to you, Dave.
All right, back to me. Okay, so before we dive into listener mail, we've got a couple of show announcements coming up. The first one is it's from New Zealand, the 2024 Scale Models Expo. Let me start again. The Scale Models Expo 2024, which is going to be held in Manawatu on the 20th and 21st of July. So it's Scale Models Wellington and Manawatu Scale Model Club are proud to be holding the 2024 Scale Models Expo in Fielding, Manawatu. I hope I've said that word right. No
Probably
doubt
not.
our Kiwi friends is going to smash me.
You'll get a call from Bardo. He'll set you right.
Yeah. It's going to be held in Fielding, Manawatu on the 21st of July, which is the middle weekend of the July school holidays over in New Zealand. So
We got to get there, Dave, one day.
I know.
Next year.
Next year.
Next year.
Yeah.
Because we keep putting it off. We keep saying we're going to NZ and we keep putting it off.
The venue will be at the Fielding Community Centre, which is at 117 Ferguson Street, Fielding, and it's open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. both on Saturday and Sunday. The event will include scale model competition using the new IPMS competition guidelines and all scale models are eligible for entry. So go and check that out.
Yes.
Also, more locally to us, we have the Australian Model Expo 2024, which is kicking off on the 8th through to the 10th of June 2024, which is the King's birthday weekend. It is at the usual place, which is the Sandown Entertainment Centre, Sandown Racecourse, Princess Highway, Springvale. And if you want some more information on that, just punch in Australian Model Expo 2024 and you'll get all the info that you need regarding
Plus your online registration and all the rest
exactly
of the
right. Yep. Exactly right. Okay, let's have a look at our mailbag, which is rather full. First one, we have a quick email from Michael Grieve, who writes, "Hi there, gents. Hope all is going well. It's a quick invitation in regards to Scale ACT 24. It's Michael just inviting us up to the show, and of course we're going to be there. We've already booked our
Of course,
hotel
Mike. Don't stress, Mike. We'll be there, mate.
and we can't wait to actually be there. And
Definitely, it's a great show.
Actually, we'll be recording there, and a few other interesting announcements will be coming down the pike in regards to that show, which I think people will find to be very interesting.
Yep.
Next one comes from Lee. Dear Benchers, thanks for your visit and the mention on your podcast of the exposition that was held in Ballarat. It was good to meet two of your triumvirate and see that you are real people. Not sure about Julian, however.
He wasn't there.
I'm generated by AI.
Yes, it did.
If I may, a mention on definitions. Very little upsets me with your podcast, but your interchangeable use of kit and model is driving me nuts. A kit is what you buy and keep in your stash. A model is what you build from the kit.
I agree with this.
Julian.
Okay. Boom, boom. Care to elaborate?
What do you mean? He's elaborating.
No, that's all right. Just pulling your leg.
Well, Lee, I'm sorry, but I'm probably going to continue to mash those two up, so I'm not going to drive you nuts. So just apologies in advance. And he continues on to say, as to what you do with your stuff when you die, I have made arrangements in my will that when I'm dead, the disposition of my stuff will probably be of no interest to me and somebody can just throw it out. I've had my fun with it, but if others wish to concern themselves over it, that's their problem and not mine.
Yes, let them squabble over it all.
I've got to say, we got quite a bit of feedback from our last episode on what to do with your stash and planning for your demise.
Yeah, you know, while we're on that a little bit, so I have an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So because most of us intend to build, like, we buy this stuff for ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because we don't care what happens to it after we're gone, right? Really?
Yeah.
You may as well just open up all the bags. Open up all the bags. Just go through it. Just treat it as your own possession instead of like, you know, because like I know people who like keep everything in the. Oh no, I've got to keep it in the bag just in case I sell it on to someone else. It's yours, dude. Do you want to? Did you buy it for yourself? Or did you buy it to someone else?
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
you paid
collectors.
full. even then, like you even if you think you might sell it on, it's like, well, why wouldn't you just treat it like yours? I mean,
that's it. You paid for the money.
Yeah, you paid full price for it.
That's right.
Right. Let the other guy who's getting it for half price later, like, worry about the fact that you've opened all the bags.
Yeah, that's their problem. They can yell at your corpse.
Yeah. Our next email comes from Brendan Wrigley, who writes, "Hello guys, long time listener, first time writer. Great news, I finally caught up with all the episodes. A while ago, Ash, who's also written in a few times, got me onto you guys, and I decided to start from the beginning. The first 10 aren't that bad.
They are shocking.
You guys were just starting out. And I just finished listening to episode 187 yesterday, which was the 1st of May. First of all, I applaud you guys. It takes a lot of work and dedication to deliver what you guys achieve. It's a great listen and has been valuable for keeping my modelling mojo up.
Thank you.
I was stoked to hear the shout out about my evergreen storage rack a few episodes back. Makes it very easy to find what I'm looking for. And yes, I'm fortunate to have a massive space to model in, thanks to Michelle. That's His Michelle, not my Michelle. Even though it's big, it gets filled up quickly. That's the thing about large modelling spaces. The more space you have, the more
crap
junk
you're
you fill in.
going to put in there. Yep.
I really like the show and the variety of topics. My only critique is that the auto genre seems to be getting treated like the redheaded stepchild. So he's going to compile some stats for us of the shows that we've done. We've done 22 episodes focused on planes, 16 episodes focused on Gundam, on armour, sorry. 9 episodes focused on Gundam, sci-fi, space.
Yep.
And he says, sorry, Dave, for the broad sweep, sticking them all together.
That's fair enough.
We've done 5 episodes dedicated to ships, only 3 dedicated to cars or autos, 2 on wargaming and 1 on figures. Given the auto community is quite large, I'd love a few more auto-focused episodes, though I appreciate the greater inclusion more recently and understand it's not your wheelhouse, Dave. Well, the only thing I want to say to that is that I guess why we don't, because Julian's always banging on about bloody building cars every episode we have anyway, but I guess it wouldn't hurt to sort of dive back in and have a dedicated...
I think a proper deep dive would have to come after you've built one.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So I can filibuster that by not building it.
No, you got to build it. You bought it, you build it.
You've got the most simple body to paint of any model ever. It's even a cigar tube that's like the things you normally build, like submarines and rockets.
I know.
It's basically a car doing a cosplay as a submarine, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
The other episode I'll bring up, he continues, was a while ago when you guys went through the different finishes you can do on models, whereas automobiles can be more than just shiny. Tisk tisk. Would I be so bold to say that the auto genre would have the largest range of finish types across the board, from super shiny, as in show car, factory fresh, through to used, which is dirty, UV faded, clear coat, flaking and mismatched panels and dents.
Yep.
Right through to the derelict rusting away in the field. And then there's the environmental weathering that civilian and comp cars, i.e. circuit brake dust, rally cars, etc., etc.
Yep.
You never see a polished up tank. Well, actually, you do see polished up tanks.
When?
In the May Day parade.
Oh, okay, yes, okay.
Are they polished, though? They're not reflective.
No, but they use a gloss paint, and it's all... And in fact, I've built a T-34 as it represents in the May Day parade, with even the white around the...
he didn't say a glossy tank. He said a polished up tank.
Yeah.
Well, and also, you talk to anybody from a Western Army armoured regiment, they all celebrate...
Happy Tank Day?
Yes, there's a Happy Tank Day. And I can't think of it.
I just said that as a joke.
No. It's oh my God, people are going to be screaming at the at their speakers as they. Anyway, there's a day in the tankers world where they all celebrate the first use of tanks in the battle or some such thing.
All right.
And when you do that sort of stuff,
Cambria Day.
Yes, thank you, Ian. Oh. And anybody who's been in the military knows that when you have a special parade like that, regardless of what you drive, where it's a truck, if it's an artillery piece, if it's a tank, if it's an armoured car, even the individual grunt who's got his rifle, everything is polished and precise with rays shining in the sun. And it's all put on parade, and the RSM will come along and inspect everything. And if it's not the scratch,
you're out.
You're out.
Yeah, I still don't think that's automotive levels of shiny.
Yeah.
Well, it's as automotive level as you can
but
get.
You know, planes do get to automotive levels of shiny. I mean, you've got the civilian race planes and things like that, right?
I remember during the Second World War, they used to polish some of their aircraft.
Yep.
So anything to get a few more miles per hour out of them.
That's an extensive email.
It is indeed. And it says, also, if I don't mind, to shout out, my Facebook model page is Brendan Scale Models, for those interested. I don't build quickly, but I try to update it on a semi-regular basis of works in progress. By the way, it's been great to hear the odd ubiquitous slip back into Dave's vocabulary recently. That will do for this one. Cheers. That's from Brendan Wrigley.
Yeah, thanks for the email, mate. That's a very good email.
It was indeed. Our good mate Dave Lockhart writes in again. Hi, Dave. Best wishes to you, Ian and Julian. First off, happy birthday. Thank you very much, mate.
Yes.
Dave mentions that he's turning actually 69 next week, so happy birthday to you.
Congrats.
And he's actually got a few years up on me. So. As always, I enjoyed your last episode, which is 187. Enjoyed all your views of old men on ladders. 6 years ago, I fell off a ladder to our attic above the garage as I was putting Christmas decorations away, as it was on the honey-do list. It did not go well, tore my knee up pretty good, and it needed to be replaced. Needless to say, I'm not allowed on any ladders anymore, probably for the best. And
I
yes,
agree.
again,
I'm sorry, I just laughed at that. I mean, yes, I mean, I was harping on about, I was on a tangent, talking about old men on ladders and things.
Well,
but
public service announcement.
yes, exactly. It's a public service announcement.
If you're
and I'm
50
glad,
and above, you should not be on a friggin' ladder, even a step ladder.
yeah,
Oh, that's right.
and I'm glad that David put his anecdote in there because it's hard. It's easy to sort of go, whatever. I still need to get up that ladder. I'm still going to do it and all this sort of crap. That's what my dad says.
Yes.
He continues
They're
on.
stubborn.
He continues on regarding a discussion on what to do with kits when our bodies decide they've had enough. I have a dead file for my wife. My two kids get dibs on whatever's in my hobby room, and after that, Robin can call the folks on this dead file, and they can come in and take all models, books, and tools. Haven't decided on whether these get sold or donated, but at least Robin won't have to deal with it. As for the built models, these can be donated to my local chapter. Believe it or not, there are modelers that like others' built models,
Yes,
especially
that's true.
ones that they would not build themselves. As I'm planning on being cremated, ideally all my models should be piled up in the backyard. Throw my body on top and light it up. The smell of all that burning styrene will send my soul to a happy place. Looking forward to seeing you in Madison. It's a beautiful city and the venue is right on the lake. Best wishes to all you three. Be well and happy modelling from Dave. Thanks, Dave.
Cremated.
Lockhart.
I reckon we should just get suspended in a large box with all your built kits and then poured with clear resin.
Yeah, yeah.
Just a massive resin cube with you in the middle, surrounded by all
Sliding
your kids.
rock.
I
Rocking
thought you were
away.
going to say like put in a big cardboard box and then we're like attached to a sprue.
There's an idea. Here you go.
Good mate Kevin writes in, "G'day guys, I know I'm a bit behind, story of my life, but I just finished listening to episode 178 where you guys talk about desktop cutters for making masks. Ian mentioned that it would be good if there was some kind of online database or repository we could download masks from. As it happens, there is.
There is?
Yes, it's called Scale Model Paint Masks, a platform that I created back in 2020 just for this purpose. So that address is
scalemodelpaintmasks.com.
There you go. Oh, yes. Thank you, Ian. You need to be a member to upload or download files, but membership is free and everybody's is welcome. Oh, and the stencil company that Ian was trying to think of that does laser cut stuff is 1/32 scale One Man Army based in Belgium.
Yes. And his stuff is amazing.
That's from our good mate Kevin Footer. And Kevin is the owner of KLP Publishing.
Yes.
And I'll just do a quick announcement. I actually just recently purchased his most recent upload, which is the Gannett.
Oh, you got the Gannett book.
I got the Gannett book.
Oh, cool.
So I downloaded that the other day.
Yep.
And
They're great, aren't they?
Oh,
Yeah, I've got a few of them myself. I reckon they're for what you're paying, they're just so full of information.
oh,
Really
awesome.
good. Kev does a great job on those.
exactly right. So just go along to www.klp.com.au,
Yep.
which will take you to KLP Publishing. So
And all these books get updated too. So new
Yes.
info comes, it
Yes,
gets
yes,
updated,
yes.
and it's all for
Updated.
free too. So the next time you open up that file to have a look, you're going to have some new content.
there you go. Frank Blanton writes in, I enjoyed the main topic on preparing for the pearly gates. I have been part of assisting modelling friends, widows, inventory, transport, and liquidating collections of unbuilt kits and tools. Some of those kit stashes were in the hundreds, and one was well over 2,000 plus kits and tools.
Wow.
The work involved in gathering and pricing everything is physically draining to those left behind, and there is an emotional price as well. I have a few observations based on experiences that I wish to share. Number one, make a plan. If you have a large stash of kits, or even a modest one, say like 20 to 25 kits, designate ahead of time what can be done and what should be done. Instructions on finding a buyer or donating to your local club if you're a member of one. Communicate those intentions. Collecting kits is a hobby, and that is perfectly fine, but be prepared to not encumber a spouse or loved ones with something that is great value to you. Maybe it's time to look closely and realistically downsize your stash. When my wife and I moved from a large 4-bedroom home in the suburbs to a smaller, cosy condo for two, I was faced with making a big change. I only kept the model kits I would realistically build in 5 years, and I only kept them very most recently tooled offerings. I set a goal of no more than 20 kits at any given time. I also no longer have the space to store a stash larger than 25 1/35th scale armour kits. I also got rid of and binned several built models from years ago, as my skills have gotten better over the years, and quite frankly, I felt that I had gotten my money's worth in the kit and the build.
Yep.
I now have room for some new pieces in my display cabinet, and I've also given some builds to my friends. To put a button on all this, it's about thinking ahead and communicating what can you reasonably expect to build in a given time, what new and exciting upgrade kits we'll be seeing in the next few years. Bringing in something new and improved must be the catalyst for taking an older version out. At least that's for me.
Fully agree with you there, Frank.
So it's Frank Blatton, Richmond, Virginia.
Thanks, Frank. That's great.
Lovely piece. Charles Rice writes in, hey guys, love the show as always. This might be a topic that you've discussed in the previous episode. Just a heads up, I sent this same email as a PPM to your guys word for word.
To the Plastic Model Mojo, yep.
Yes. Hey my dudes, recently I was looking through another podcast Facebook group and I saw a post about a suggested World War II bomber group build. I'm in because I've got a few in the stash that I'm now going to build. I've got a particular one in mind. Later in the day, I saw a post from a regular group member about building the same plane. Now, I'm not a dummy, and I know that several people are going to build the same bomber. But the thing that smacked me in the face was the amount of aftermarket he included with the kit. I don't care how much work anybody puts in the kits, it's their hobby, but except for the almost required PE set for ships, I'm mostly an out-of-box builder. I'm going to build mine with or without all the extras. There's a feeling in the back of my mind that my end product will be automatically subpar without the extras.
Not really. No, I don't agree with that.
I don't either. I've seen some fantastic builds that
out of box.
don't have any PE at all.
And sometimes people that you put PE in make a hash of it.
Big fat glue marks.
I'm always, whenever I buy PE, I always have to compare it with the kit parts because it's not always an improvement. For certain things, you know, it's
I've found some photo etch bits I've got on some of my photo etch sets. I look at them and go, well, the kit part's as good, if not better. Why they've done it? Edward's big at just putting stuff on their photo etch. It's like,
every company loves to pad their photo etch sheets with extra stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Like they'll do all the boxes for armor kits, you know, all the toolboxes and things that go on the fenders.
Yep.
And unless you're going to have that open, why would you make it a photo etch one?
Totally agree.
Charles, don't bow to peer pressure of getting a whole heap of extra stuff for your kit. You just build what you... Don't forget, the idea is for you to do this for your enjoyment, not for others. So just build what you want to build.
Enjoy it, mate.
Exactly right. Thanks, Charles, from South Carolina.
Yeah.
Rightio. Tim Holland writes in, hey, Benchers, thanks for mentioning James's illness, and we're hoping there is a swift recovery. A quick update of James from...
I'm going to let you embarrass yourself.
Going
to let you embarrass yourself. Go on. Come on, work that brain, Dave.
Yeah,
work
Just
that.
Making Conversation
Well,
podcast.
That's it. Well done.
Who unfortunately had a bit of a medical issue.
Yes.
But they found some the right size of PVC pipes and a couple of sort of old steam tubes and gauges, which they're going to be
that's right. Yeah.
fitting to him sometime this week, I believe.
Yep. And once they put those bolts in his neck and hook him up to some 24 volts, he'll be right as rain.
He will. Hopefully, he'll be out of hospital in about another week or so. And I'm sure that the staff at the hospital will be more than happy to see him back home as well, because he's probably driving him absolutely nuts.
Yes, we have the technology. We can rebuild him.
Yes. But we are thinking of you, James.
So Timothy continues. Great episode. I laughed through quite a bit of it, even though it's a more morbid discussions about every modeller's eventual demise. I'm 64 and retired, and a few years ago we were planning for retirement. We discussed, frankly, end-of-life planning. I expect to live for another 25 years, and she will likely outlive me by another 10 beyond that.
As they usually do. Yep.
Of course they do. Ultimately, this resulted in each of us having a will and a living will, the latter being a legal document for making decisions in the event that I won't live, but I won't die.
Yep.
Long story short, she knows what she wants from my models. Likely just one built model, which will be the A6M0 that I built as a 9-year-old. Oh, that's kind of sweet.
It is, yeah.
But she may pick another one, such as one of my Spitfires. My will states that she will get the first choice. My brother gets second choice, and any other family member after that. I'd be shocked if they're any interested. Anything left, including tools, gets donated to my local club. They already know it's on them to figure out what they want to do with it. In the past, we've received stashes from deceased modelers, and the nicer kits went into our monthly raffle, while the members got a crack at buying each kit for $10 to $5. And the rest were simply just sold off at a local show, as is one of the means we keep our membership fees at zero. I keep my models in a database offline as well as ScaleMates. I'm also putting all the decals back into each kit and ensuring they have instructions. If I have aftermarket, it's going to be in the box as well. I will then label each box on the outside with masks, resin, photo etch or decals as appropriate using my label maker. For listeners, I recommend the following. Number 1, make a will. It's not a morbid thing, but it is a fact of life. Number 2, making a living will if local laws allow. Let your family know your intentions when you cannot speak for yourself.
That's a very good idea.
That is a very good idea. Number 3, make a database of your models, references and accessories. List them all, and bonuses if you can take a picture of the box and include that as well. As Ian does, have it on the thumb drive labelled models and keep it in the insurance file. That's a good idea. Mm-hmm. I don't price mine because that changes and becomes something or more to do with other than the building process. Number 4, insure your stash.
Insure
your stash. If the value is greater than what your homeowner's policy covers you for insurance, they'll only give you what they cover.
Yep.
So having that database in the picture makes it easier to price each model at a time of loss, whether it is due to home damage or to death. And finally, create a bucket list for models. What models are the most important for you to complete in your life? All of them is the wrong answer.
Unless you live to 150. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
If your modelling is all over the map with no specific genre or time period, then build the best models first and hope the older, crappy kits get replaced before you pass on. So there you have it, my plan for when I can no longer build small representations of full-size things. Looking forward to more podcasts from your bench. That's Tim El Presidente. And also, of course, with the Model Geeks podcast. Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, Tim, yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
I agree with a lot of those things. Especially the last part, the part about building the best models first.
Yeah, that's a good
As
idea.
Julian looks straight at me as he's saying that, for some particular reason.
Well, I often look at you just out of habit when I talk on this podcast.
Because it's always something to do with me.
Because like Dave's never looking at me. He's always looking over there
I'm
at
looking
the
at the
controls
screen,
and the
I'm watching
screen
the
and stuff.
controls
Yeah.
and everything.
Whereas you and I are free to look at each other.
because Dave's driving the bus.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're sitting all back of the bus.
Yeah, I am. I'll sit with
Name the movie.
Oh, I can't remember, but I sit where the cool kids sit.
Oh, okay.
In any case, yeah, that's. But you're right. I do think that about you. That you
should build my best kits first.
Well, you never.
Well, I can now. I've now got space to put kits.
That's true.
You guys haven't tweaked to the movie
No.
Chronicles of Riddick?
Ah, yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Where he's been captured and he's in the back of the spaceship. Yeah, cool.
All right. Yeah. I like that movie.
I know.
Well, I mean, wait, is that Chronicles of Riddick, or is that one of the? That's the first one, isn't it?
No.
This is where this is the second movie where they go hunting him on that ice planet, and he lets himself get captured.
All right.
Yes.
Great.
Anyway.
Luke Cooper writes in, "Hi guys, been listening to your shenanigans and thank you for inspiring me to go down the rabbit hole of 1/72nd scale rocket models. Here's a picture of my latest purchase. Cheers, Luke. Well done."
What's he bought?
He has bought a 170. He's constant scale builder, so 1/72nd scale German V2 rocket, which is the Vel version, which is perhaps one of the better ones of the V2s. I've built that one. It's a great kit. The Redstone launcher with the Juno and Explorer 1, which I've also built, and that's another great kit from Horizon Models. And he has there in 72nd scale.
What's the Dragon one too?
Dragon Apollo 11 Saturn V.
Nice.
Which is also sitting in my stash, and I can't wait to build that. However, there's many corrections that the kit actually needs before we can move forward.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So it's okay to build out of the box. It looks fine out of the box. It just depends whether you want to or not. And late mail, we have just arrived. Hi, Ian, Dave, and Julian. Just a quick note to say thank you for the feedback on my Turpits that I wrote to you about a month ago. I've just taken it back off the shelf and about to crack on with it again.
Yeah, good on you.
I appreciate your feedback, and it got me enthused to once again complete this model. We'll drop you a line once it's completed to let you know how it went. It's cheers from Simon. Good on you, mate.
Yes.
No pressure.
No.
No pressure.
We'll
Take
just
your
turn
time.
we'll just turn the thumb screws.
Greetings, Dave, Ian, and Julian. I've been listening to your show for around a year now and have finally become a Patreon supporter. Apologise for the delay.
Thank you.
That's fine, mate.
Yeah.
When I first heard of your show, it brought back some feelings of nostalgia of my days in motorsport community radio in the late 1990s to about the late 2000s, reporting on race and rally events around the country.
Cool.
I'm a 53-year-old modeller of some 40 years now and starting to get out of my teenage years building aircraft, poorly, and later diversifying into cars and science fiction subjects, especially Star Wars and Machine Krieger, well done you, and have been dabbling with submarines, even better, and real space subjects as well. Fantastic! Apologies to Julian. Race and rally cars are only in my automotive model stash. The only time I would consider buying a road car model is when it can potentially be converted into something that was raced competitively. Having said that, I do appreciate Julian's road car models are quite magnificent, having seen several up close at Scale ACT last year.
Okay. So I think I saw a bunch of your rally cars then last year, probably.
Well, there we go.
I have been an active member of the South Australian Plastic Modellers Association for 15 years now, on the committee for nearly 10 years, and treasurer since 2017.
Well, that's a long time.
As a senior circuit motor racing official and occasional rally navigator, I often drive long distance to get to race circuits and rally events. I find your show to be great listening and makes the long drive seem much quicker, and entertaining banter and informative content of your show always delivers.
Oh.
It was great to meet Dave, albeit briefly, at Scale ACT last year, as well as meeting Lincoln Wright, a legend of the Machine Krieger universe. Can't wait for his next book to be released.
Me too, mate.
I found your topic on the last episode quite amusing, as I have a stash that will no doubt survive well beyond my own life expectancy. There are several younger car modeller members in our club who often joke that they'll be quite happy to divide up my stash when I go to that great race circuit in the sky. Your suggestion to keep a spreadsheet of stash kits, paints, detail sets and reference material makes a lot of sense, although it would take me considerable time to collate such information. Perhaps I should get on and do this to spare my very tolerant and understanding partner a lot of work when the inevitable happens. Ultimately, as the saying goes, he or she who dies with the most toys wins. That's a good creed to live by. Keep up the great work. Best regards, Dave Langfield.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's awesome. And Dave has become one of our most recent Patreon supporters.
Friggin' awesome.
And thanks very much for that, mate.
Did he have a photo on the bottom of that, did he?
He did it some of his kits.
One of his, it's a Super Star Destroyer and, that's
Some machine
Krieger.
There's some nice looking builds there, mate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very impressed.
And we're certainly looking forward to catching up with you, Dave, in ACT.
Yes,
If you're
definitely.
coming up
If you're
there
coming
this
up again,
year. Sure,
yeah, definitely.
All right. That's it for Mailbox. Thank you very much, everybody, for writing in. If you want to write in, you can. Our email address is onthebench64@gmail.com. Okay, and coming up next, we have a fantastic interview with Matthew Grice, who's going to be talking about his studio scale model, the Nostromo. But before we get into that, let's hear these very important words from our good friend Chris Meddings from Inside the Armour.
Hey guys, it's Chris from Inside the Armour, and I'd like to tell you about ITA3, 3D printed parts from Inside the Armour. And I've got a bunch of stuff for your armour, aircraft, ship and other projects coming up. Starting out in 172nd in aircraft, we've got stuff for the 172nd Airfix ME410 and for the 172nd Airfix Bristol Beaufort, including all kinds of great stuff. On the armour side, I've gone back to Churchills and I've got some really great additions to improve your AFE Club or Tamiya Churchills, including rear deck tools with moulded tool clamps, which massively improve over the kit details, air intake grills, and the exhaust, complete with shroud, which features all of the missing brackets and details from both kits. In 148, we've got the same stuff again for the Churchill, and this time with a few more wrinkles and improvements over the 148 Tamiya kit. In both scales, you can get WS19 antenna sets and fire extinguishers. And in 135th, we've got radios including WS11 for your SAS LRDG or early British war armour builds, WS19 for the rest of the war for British armour builds, including Shermans, Churchills, Comets, Cromwells and many more, and post-war radios including Larkspur and coming soon Clansman. For the US fans out there, we've also got the SCR 508, which features optional boxes to go next to the transmitter unit, and a whole bunch of other stuff coming up soon. So if you want to improve your models quickly, easily and with superb detail, go on over to InsideTheArmour.com and look up ITA3 3D printed parts.
Okay, now it gives me great pleasure to introduce a guest, Matthew Grice. And Matthew is doing something a little bit different, and it is, I find, extremely exciting.
Yeah,
But
me too.
Get to that bit in a minute. G'day, Matthew. How are you, mate?
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm good.
Excellent. So, Matthew, who are you and what do you do modelling-wise?
I'm really a nobody. I I really am. I'm just one of these guys who likes to model. I tinker with model kits. Basically, just buy the Tamiya model kits, Hasegawa model kits, Halcyon model kits, and just build them. Add some lights to them, bit of sound, and that's it.
Can you still get Halcyon model kits?
You can. They are not cheap.
No.
But actually, if you're in some of these modelling Facebook groups, the buy and sells, the guys are pretty fair with their prices for those kits. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a plastic model kit, so people will pay what they want to pay. So, I've found some good bargains on those pages. So get on there if you want some old vintage model kits.
Oh, cool. I remember when I was younger, I had the Aliens dropship from Halcyon.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Mind you, I was way young and I did a really crappy job on it, and it's probably landfill somewhere now.
Yeah. I would love one of them, but I think though on eBay, I think they want probably around $300 or something like that.
Oh, that makes me feel even worse about myself.
I know, right?
So you hail from Bega in New South Wales, which is a beautiful part of the world.
Yep.
And we were just talking about it before we came on that You don't quite get snow there in the Australian winter, but it sure gets cold enough. So that must be conducive to forcing you into the modelling room and doing some building when you got nothing else to do.
Yeah, it does. My only downfall at the moment is I'm trying to build a house. So we're renting, and there's 5 of us, and there's not much room. So modelling is kind of on the back burner at the moment, to say the least.
Well, that then leads us into how crazy you are to sort of take on this project. And this project when I came across it on Facebook, I reached out to you straight away because, A, this is my favourite spaceship of all time, and B, I couldn't believe the scale of what you're undertaking. So you've got your hands on a studio scale Nostromo replica model from the best movie ever, Alien.
I have, and my wife and my children would agree with you on about being crazy. It was by random chance that it come up on a Facebook group, and I had to buy it. So it was pretty simple for me. I mean, I just looked at it and thought, wow, this is crazy. Bad timing.
So explain the model itself. So just give the listeners an understanding of how big it is, and also let's talk about the history of the model, where it actually came from.
Yeah, absolutely. So it is a studio scale. It's 5.5 foot long. So in metric terms, it's nearly 1.8 meters in length. It's 1.2 meters wide, and it's around, when you stand it flat on its landing gear, it's about 650 mil high. So yeah, it's a big model. It really is.
Oh, wow.
It actually it comes apart, and it actually takes up more space when it's apart than when it's together. So I think a lot of people were put off by it because of it looking so big. It looks so big in the pictures.
Yeah.
And it sounds so big, but it really doesn't actually take up too much space. I mean, it takes up a corner of the lounge room. I did have it in the lounge room at one point. But yeah, so it's big, but at the same time, it's not big enough to not display. So
where did the model originally come from?
So the story goes, it all come about by a private collector by the name of Greg Bain. He threw up a post on a Facebook modelling site. I don't think Greg models at all. He's a private collector, and he just collects displays and props, big on props, artwork, all that type. He's just an alien predators freak, that he just loves that stuff. And he was selling a lot of his collection, and he was having trouble selling this Nostromo. So he jumped on the modelling page and asked us for help and said, "Where do you think I can sell this?" And I just commented, I had a few contacts, and I said, well, I might be able to help you out there. So I had no intention of buying it. I looked at it and thought, oh my goodness, I'd like to buy it, but the price was too high for me at that point. So, but I did have some contacts. So I reached out to them, and their main concern was, how are we going to get it to us? Because freight costs these days are just...
Oh, yeah, it's crazy.
Through the roof. The collector's was in Queensland, so the lucky thing was he's in Australia for a start.
Yeah,
so that was also... I was amazed that there was a collector in Australia that had this thing. I was blown away. I was like, this is crazy.
So are we. We're really sort of knocked out by that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. the contacts fell through. They didn't want to buy it mainly because the freight, and they were worried that it was going to break apart.
Yeah.
So look, Greg needed to really sell it though, so he dropped the price a couple of times, and I went backwards and forwards with my contacts, and then it got to a point where it was like low enough for me to say, look, I think I'm just going to buy this myself. Let's not muck around. So that's what happened. Where Greg privately commissioned it from a guy called Jermaine Apache, and he is an Italian model builder. He scratch builds a lot of stuff. He does also 3D print now. He's got some 3D printers, but Jermaine was commissioned by Greg to build it, and this was back in 2015. I don't actually know how long it took Jermaine to build this. I've sent him a few questions, but he's a little slow to get. Maybe it's because of my Italian. I don't speak any Italian, so that could be a problem. But yeah, so Jermaine was commissioned by Greg to make this thing. And I think, Greg did actually fly to Italy to have a look at the process and how it was going and all this. And then it was freighted back to Australia, which to freight something from Italy to Australia, being that big, I wouldn't know where to start. So,
that's some dedication.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. Some serious dedication.
Absolutely, Julian. Yeah, absolutely. It's a real shame that he's had to sell most of his collection, but that's how things go sometimes.
Well,
and I was lucky enough to get it. So
yeah, there are some, and we'll lead to later on in the discussion where people can go and have a look at this. But there's also a great little sort of YouTube as well, some sort of pictures where Greg Bain's original collection, and pretty spectacular, as well as a link to where Jermaine Impash, I guess, or is his name, Sci-Fi Model Concept, actually built it. So you got the kit. You drove up to Queensland and drove back with it.
I did. It was lucky. I'm a postie, so I actually had annual leave the week that I bought it. So I drove. It's 1,500 Ks from my place to where he is. So we did it in like 5 days there and back. So it was a bit of a hike, and my concern was the same concern as what my contacts had, that it was gonna a lot of it was gonna fall off or break apart.
Rattle apart.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, the vibration in the car, but it actually handled the journey pretty good. So we had a few talks with Greg and I about whether it was going to fit in the car. I've got an SUV, and it's only a small one, and so we were doing measurements backwards and forwards. There was talk of me bringing a trailer, and I was like, I really don't want to drive an empty trailer 1,500 kilometres.
Or even worse, drive it back with a model on the trailer bouncing around.
Exactly. Yeah, it would have been and it was pouring a rain the whole entire time. Well.
Of course it was.
That would have made it worse.
So the underlying structure of the kit looks to be a mixture of wood and with some plastic structure, I guess, and then it looks like it's skinned with plastic. Yeah,
it is. It's a wooden frame. It's mainly 2x4, and then it also has it's skinned with an MDF board.
Right.
A thin MDF board, and then over the top of that is a thin layer of cardstock.
Yep.
And then the plasticard panels, which there's a lot of, has been placed over the top of that. So it's got a bit of weight to it. It's a few years old, so structurally there's a few places that needs to be propped up, so it needs a bit more support points. So but yeah, that's it predominantly, and there's a lot of spare part model kits parts on it. So which
lots of Greeblies.
in Alien, the Greeblies, I think that's the Star Wars term. I think if for Alien, the model guys named them Weeblies.
Oh, Weeblies.
Weebles, yeah, a bit different. I don't know why the difference, but hey, that's the way it was. But yeah, there's a lot of that, and that really adds. That's really what the ship is all about. Those detail parts.
Yeah, that's what makes it. So, how much do you reckon it weighs?
I would say in excess of 30 kilo.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, 30 plus kilo. I think.
That's a beast.
I'll be interested to see what he did for the landing gear to sort of support that sort of weight, because that's
they are actually full resin pieces,
right?
And they look like they have been molded. Some of it looks like it's been molded in resin, and then I think the actual landing gear piece has been maybe even 3D printed.
All right. Yep.
I think there's some pics of him 3D printing. Yeah, I think, but the main bulk of it, which sits up under the housing, is just a full piece of resin. There's a bit of weight just in the landing gear, which it needs to be.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Just for the weight. My idea is to take that weight off the landing gear and to have it actually in a landing position, but still flying, so as if it's just coming down to touchdown.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be supporting it with just a metal structure straight through the center, pretty much.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, I guess that leads us on to the next part of the discussion in regards to the restoration. It's when we say restoration, is there much that needs to really be done to it to sort of bring it back, or was it in fairly good condition when you got your hands on it?
It is in fairly good condition, really. You could, you could pretty much leave it as is. I think for us who are really keen modelers, we'd nitpick it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd easily find pieces. I mean, there's some of the card stock is coming apart, and there's a few gaps, which if I was to light the model, which I intend to, then we're going to get a lot of light leakage. So that all needs to be fixed up. But generally, the paint is. I'm a painter, so I don't really model to assemble. I model to paint. That's what I love. So for me, the first thing I looked at was it needs a lot of more detailing. So it really doesn't have too many washes on it, which I'd like to do. I'd like to put, obviously, a dirt wash and then some rust washes on it, just to brighten it up a bit, give it a bit more detail. But yeah, apart from that, there's not too much else. It did come with some lights originally in it, but they have since all burnt out.
Right.
They were 12 volt LED lights, and but they were wired pretty crudely together. So I'm not sure if that was Jermaine's work, or I don't think so. I think it would have been someone else's. But so we're going to rewire it. We're going to also add some random window lighting to it. And we also want to light the bridge up as well, which will be a different color. I think the bridge in the movie has a blue tinge to it, so we'll be doing that to it. Also, the engines we want to flicker and all this stuff. So it really is. It's more upgrade work, as opposed to fixing. Yeah, I mean, a few things moved in the car. Like I think one of the engine panels, vibrated off and all that type of stuff. But that's really not a problem to fix. So
I recall looking. I think I was on YouTube. They've got a YouTube video on that talks about how they actually built the original studio model or the different variants of it. And I think the interesting one was one of the lighting section, because the Nostromo, when it lands, has got that very distinct sort of lights running underneath it, and as it lands, are all sort of lit up. And I remember him talking about that in some detail and discussing how they were going to do that for the original movie. So I'd be really interested to see how you get towards tackling that. And in regards to tackling all the lighting and doing that, are you going to have to disassemble it to a large degree, or is it designed in such a way for when you transport it that you can get to the bits that you need to get to quite easily?
Yeah, no, Jermaine was good because he's actually put in some insert panels that you can unscrew and you can get your hands inside it. So that way it's quite good. The nose section where the bridge is a little bit harder. It's pretty much just two sections butted up to each other, the nose section and then the hull. And that's going to be a bit harder. We're going to have to cut a section out of that and put some lighting in through there, and probably put some blockers in there so the light doesn't leak out.
Yeah, that'd be a big one.
Yeah, otherwise it really is done quite well. There's a lot of room in there, obviously. And he's also got, for the engines, he's actually put some white, it looks like they actually look like just like dinner plates, like round bowls, cereal bowl plates, and he's put them in, so they'll actually reflect the light back out the engines quite well. So I think the lighting will be quite straightforward. Saying that, I really don't do electrics and electronics.
Isn't that kind of the thing of most modelers? Like everyone, it'd be cool if you could get some lighting going. It's like, yeah, I don't want to stuff around with wires and things.
It is, Julian. And my thing is, all my models tend to be, I like to add lighting, but I like to go the extra step and generally add some sound with it as well. So that can make, doing the electronics even a little bit harder. I'm just not sure how to go about the lighting at the moment because of how big it is. Like, how big of lights do I run? Do I run all the same kind of lighting through it for the engines and the window panels and the bridge? Same as the landing lights. So that's a bit of a toss-up at the moment.
You can't just sort of, buy a typical model lighting kit because it's not big enough.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, this is it, Julian. Yeah. Like the rear engines, there's 12 little cylinders. I think 12 on each engine. There's 3 engines, and the surface area to light it is like 150 mil each engine.
Oh, Jesus.
And that's quite that's not, doesn't sound like a large area, but for a model,
that's huge. It is
huge.
Very big.
Yeah.
Also, how do you power it? I mean,
there's another question. You tell me, Julian.
But you said that it used to have like some lighting provisions in it, right?
Yeah, but the original Nostromo had its own nuclear reactors. That's how Ripley blew it up.
I'm talking about this model.
Yeah, well, just get a little mini reactor and shove it in there.
Right.
Good on you.
Yeah, I've had a few ideas. Like, I've had a few guys throw out some ideas to me, such as where they're saying 9-volt, just use 9-volt batteries, but I don't think that's going to really cut it. Especially if I want to take this to some shows, which I do actually want to try and take it to some model shows. And yeah, I really need a better power source because running lights all day on that thing, 9 volts won't last very long.
That's not going to last you a few hours.
It won't cut it. So
Yeah.
there's a large community of guys out there who they know how to do wiring diagrams for LED, sort of different LED stuffs, and I'm sure you probably come across a few of them as well, Matthew. But if anybody out there does that sort of stuff and they want to reach out to you, they can get in contact via us or even directly to you if they want to give you a hand with that sort of planning.
Absolutely, that'd be really good. I do subscribe to a couple of YouTube channels. I don't know if you guys know Trekworks.
Yes,
all.
Yep.
He's fantastic with his electronics. I think that's why he predominantly makes models to put electronics in them.
Yeah.
So I would love to talk. To him. I think his name is Boyd, but he'd be someone to talk to. That's for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to put like batteries inside this thing.
Nah.
Especially when you consider like how many fires there are with batteries these days.
Lithium batteries, yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, we're not too sure about those.
It's the kind of thing where it's big enough that you could
batteries,
hide like a socket somewhere on it and just run a lead.
Yeah, mains power is what I really want to do to it. And someone even suggested running the mains power through a USB charger. And I think that's an excellent idea because that will just drop the current down.
Mm-hmm.
And I can run it straight through mains. So I think that might be an idea that I might use. It's just I'm not sure how to run that once it's out of that charger. How to run that through the lights?
Yeah, and as well as that, you'd have to run it to a circuit board as well, and because you want your engine lights to flicker, they've got to be on a sort of slightly different circuit, and
this is it. Though.
Yeah,
your flashing navigation lights, and
all that sort of
interior lighting,
and it can be done, but I mean,
someone needs to write a program for it.
I'm like you, Matthew. Electricity is like a dark magic to me. I just go over the light switch and flick it on. If you can't see, taste, or touch it, then it's definitely magic.
Yes,
absolutely. I totally agree, 100%.
Oh, okay. So, where are you planning? I mean, obviously you're in the stages of building a house and all that sort of stuff. Have you got sort of any plans in regards to how you're going to display it in your own home once you've finished it?
Yeah, I do. I've already sort of started that process. It's I'm gonna, like I said earlier, I'm going to have it in a flying landing sequence.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So we're gonna support it on a wooden pallet, pretty much like one of those Shep pallets.
Yes.
Yep.
We're gonna make it a bit more show friendly, so we're going to knock the square edges off of it, curve it, so it's more sci-fi looking. I'm going to try and make the base look like the planet LV-426.
Oh, yeah.
So
nice.
Yeah, it'll have some rocks and stuff like that on it. I'm really going for the whole thing will be based on the landing sequence out of the Alien movie.
Yep.
And yeah, so if I just stick to that and watch that over and over again, I should be fine.
Yeah.
But so it'll be predominantly on a pallet pretty much with one structural metal post through the center.
Mm-hmm.
And Jermaine's already got a flange in the actual model because I think that's how he actually just displayed it himself. Greg actually just had, when Greg got it, the collector, he actually just sat it on a like a tabletop.
Yep.
So all the weight was on the legs. The other thing is, I really want to display it in a landing sequence mode, is because I intend on running some either compressed air or a smoke machine. Through, so we can have some venting through the exhaust vents.
Yes.
So when it's coming down, the thrusters are pouring all that thrust down onto the planet. I think they'll look amazing. So that is on my mind. Now, I don't do electronics, right? So I don't know how the hell I'm going to do that.
Well, I mean,
have-
you could improvise with one of those like vape things, right?
Yeah, but then you're on the risk of it burning down because those things catch fire.
Yeah,
I don't know how many of them I'd need, though, Julian.
We had a ton of them, mate.
it doesn't matter. Like our government will probably outlaw vapes before you can even get it in there.
Yeah, that's it. Yes.
Well, this is it. I think it is illegal now, isn't it?
Well, it's getting that way. Yeah, very close to it.
They seem to be everywhere still. So
I'll have to just follow you around to your shows and stand with a pack of cigarettes and just blow smoke through a particular.
Yeah, I'll have one of the panels open so you can just blow it into inside the ship.
There you go.
That'll work.
Very cool.
It will. Now, I'm sure this discussion has really got all of our other benches really intrigued. So where can people go to sort of find out more about this and follow the restoration / rehabilitation of this fantastic model?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've actually just made a Facebook page for it. So it is Nostromo Studio Scale Model Restoration, which is a bit of a mouthful, but when you just go in the search, if you put Nostromo Studio Scale, I think it's pretty much, I think, the first thing that kind of comes up.
Yep.
So you can go there, and I've already put in a few posts on the history and just, Greg's side of things and how he got it, and then Jermaine making it. And I've left the rest for just build pics of us restoring
future
it.
updates.
Absolutely, future updates. But it's all there. Yeah, it's got links to Jermaine's website and his Facebook page and a few other guys. At the moment, there's so much to do. The to-do list is actually quite long, even though it doesn't seem like there's much to do on it. There is, only because I want to upgrade it so much. For instance, the decals. The original model had the registration number and name on the side pods, and I'm actually going to just keep that on there because it looks fantastic on there. So
it looks nice and faded. It looks nice and faded.
It does, yeah. Exactly right. And there are some original pictures of it on the 11-foot model, screen used model, and it really does look good. So I'm gonna do that. I don't know if anyone knows, also on the bridge section there is like at least 10 logos. There's the American flag. There's all these alert logos and step logos. Yep. There's also a Rego logo, but it's so small, and the way the movie is shot, it's so dark that you can't see any of it. So I've already talked to a guy in Canada, J-Bot Decals, and he's got a Nostromo sheet ready for me to print.
Cool.
He's never done anything this big. It's the largest set of decals.
Who was that again? Did you say J-Bot?
J-Bot, J-B-O-T Decals. You can search him up on Facebook. He's got a Facebook page and also a website.
It'd have to be at least A3 paper.
Yeah. That's going to be a huge decals.
Yeah. Be a massive decal.
Yeah, no, surprisingly not actually. It fits just and only just on a A4 sheet.
Oh, wow.
The saying that the number itself is the length of an A4 sheet.
Yep.
So,
okay. Right.
Yeah. The name is a little bit smaller, but the rest of the stuff is actually, even though it's a large model, the decals itself for the bridge are really tiny. I think the number on the bridge, it's 6 numbers, and it's only 7 millimeters long. Yeah.
Oh, that's tiny.
So, yeah, it's really small, but it will add to all those little details. It will just add to the model.
Oh, definitely.
And guys like myself and you guys, we love that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So,
Do we ever? Do we ever?
Well, Matthew, thanks very much for being with us and sharing with us your passion and your journey with this model. Please keep in touch and let us know how you're travelling.
I'll be keeping an eye on it.
I'll be keeping an eye on it through your Facebook page, which is just again Nostromo Studio Scale Model Restoration. And we hope to see it at a Aussie show one day in the future as well. So,
yeah, absolutely. I've actually already talked to Scale ACT because that is my closest show. That's a 3-hour drive for me just to get there. So, and yeah, it sounds like they'd love to have it. So,
so we probably see it before the end of the year then.
We are hoping to get, absolutely. I don't actually care what state the model will be in at that stage.
Okay.
I think we'll just get it there for people to have a look at.
I think that just the sheer presence is going to blow people away.
Yeah, it is. Well, 5 foot long model is going to be. Whew. And well, that's great news that you're going to Scale. And it's funny you should say because we're actually talking to Peter, the president of Scale ACT, in about 5 minutes after we finish chatting with you. So it'd be fantastic. It'd be fantastic to see you at that show, and we're going to be there, of course. So it'd be great to catch up with you in person.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
All right, mate. Well, thanks very much for your time, and you just keep building it. And to our listeners out there, if anybody is an expert on lighting and electronics,
get in touch with us.
Get in touch with us on thebench64@gmail.com, and we'll pass that through on to Matthew. All right, thanks, mate. Thanks very much, and we'll see you in November.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate you getting in touch with me and having me on the show.
No worries, buddy.
I listen to you guys all the time. So,
thanks, mate.
It's a great podcast, and I appreciate it.
Good on you.
No worries. Cheers,
thanks,
buddy.
Matthew. See you later. Cheers.
Thanks, guys. See you. Bye.
And let's keep the great conversations flowing. We're going to be talking now with Peter Davis from Scale ACT about the wonderful show in Canberra that is coming up in November this year. And that gives me great pleasure to welcome to the show an old friend from the show and a good friend of ours, Peter from Scale ACT, President. How you going, mate?
Yeah, good, Dave and the boys. How are we all today?
Fantastic, thanks, brother.
Yeah, good.
Been a good Saturday so far. Been a great Saturday. So you're here to tell us about, I don't know, you got something happening in November up in Canada. In Canada, you idiots. Yeah. In Canberra?
It is to the north. It is to the north, but
not that far north.
Canberra, not that far north, no. So just chat about Scale X 2024. So preparation stuff's well underway. This year it's going to be held on the 9th and 10th of November, so similar time of year. What else been happening? The flyers are up, so we put the flyers out and started circulating those a couple of days ago. So I'm sure people have seen those starting to pop up on their social.
Yep.
So grab a hold of those, share them with your mates. Let them know when it's on. The other thing is too, our main page is I think now up to about 1,500 people. So it's really important those that haven't yet to jump on our Facebook page, Scale ACT. Sorry, for Scale Act, which is Scale Act. And like and follow that page to make sure you don't miss any important information that will be coming out. Mm-hmm. Delighted to announce today too that we will definitely be moving to some form of open system this year. So it'll be gold, silver, bronze.
Oh, cool. Good.
We're in well under preparation for that. Hopefully we'll probably catch up again sometime in August in the lead up to the show, and we'll be able to outline exactly how that's going to work for November. Entry fees will be $3 per model this year, so it's a very slight increase from $2. I still think it's one of the cheapest shows of its kind in Australia for people to come and enter and enjoy, going up to $3. So I think shouldn't hopefully upset people too much. We're also again the workshops were really well received last year, and the people were able to bring in for those, so they will be on again this year. We're just in the process of locking in another star-studded lineup for those. What else we got ready? Traders, we had about 19 traders last year, and we've already got a strong response. I think we've got about 15 RSVPs already.
Oh, cool.
Being Star Hobbies, Caribou Models, Spec Models, Canberra Hobby Centre, Firestorm Models, Scale Models Supply, Burford Tools, Hawkeye Models, Horizon Models, RW Hobby, Platypus Publications, and Full Bore Models, with plenty more, I'm sure, to get back to us over the next couple of weeks. I think that's about it. Special categories are on again this year. The Kitty Hawk Cup, which is the Edward boxing of the Zero, so the new Zeros. Pro Pack or weekend. Yeah, Pro Pack or weekend edition is okay for those. Senator Shields, the Tamiya 148 scale Abrams this year, and you're allowed to use the ACT SMS members Mark Kerr's Australian Abrams conversion. Which is in 48, which is fantastic. The Grail this year is any Master Box figure in 135th or 132nd, right, and the special car award this year being the best Ford Mustang, which this year is 60 years since the icon of the first one rolled off production. So we're also tying that in, I think, with Wagga and also the Illawarra comp, that we've all got it as our special car category this year. So we're, geographically located close to those guys. So we thought we'd join in and, so people kind of attend all three shows with their Mustangs and tie it all in, which I think is nice. But I think, that's a fair enough update for everyone at this stage.
Oh,
very cool.
I have a Mustang. I have a Mustang to build.
I got several.
Oh, okay.
The car.
Yeah, same here. Several Mustangs.
But, mate, you missed out on the most important thing. So, the world's greatest podcast, of course, is going to be there. And
who are they?
And I'm excited to announce that we're sort of going into this very good partnership with Scale Act to help promote the show. And as we get closer towards November, there's going to be some
major updates
and advertising coming through the podcast supporting the show, which we think is one of the most friendliest model shows in Australia, because it's not what also happens on the day, but it's what happens after dark, which is just as much fun. You guys up there, I should say, have built this really great atmosphere where people go out to dinner and at all the pubs up there, and we have a really good time. And in fact, we've actually we've already booked our accommodation up there, we've booked the accommodation close to all the pubs that we normally go to, so it'll be in walking distance for us.
Crawling.
Well, crawling. Yeah.
Crawling distance, yeah. No, it sounds fantastic. Obviously, it's great you guys can announce that you're attending as well. Like I said, I'm sure we'll have more announcements as we get closer from you guys, and also from our other sponsors and supporters as well as we get closer to the date. So
yeah, we're really excited to be part of that and to help promote the show. And as I said, this will be our third time up there, and we just love it. We can't. It's on our calendar, and we're always excited to get up there and have a good time with all of you boys up there.
And the road and the road trip is always good.
The road trip's always good, yes.
Yeah.
No, we're really excited. Like I said, it'll be our second, reiteration of the event at Thoroughbred Park. We took some feedback on from last year's events to make this year's even better. So hopefully, a few of the things that were identified, which we obviously expecting being our first year at a new venue.
Oh, sure.
These have been identified, and hopefully we can address most of those this year to make the show even better again.
So, are you able to go into more detail about your gold, silver, bronze, and the open system, or is that still sort of being just tweaked?
So I think at the moment we're probably, I think we just have to stick with. Unfortunately, that it's definitely going to be a gold, silver, bronze system. We're still in probably the mid stages of finalising that. So, it will be I guess broadly broken down into novice, intermediate sort of thing, and possibly advanced this year.
Yep.
But there will be some categorizations and stuff like that. It probably looks kind of similar to some of the other ones around the world. But I guess we're kind of in the position where we haven't done this before, so we're going to borrow a few of the better ideas from around the world and kind of develop something that's works for us and achieves the same result and is essentially we can run it with the volunteer force we've got and all that sort of stuff. So it's a bit of a balancing act, but I'm sure we've got enough smart people there to to develop a system that works for us, but achieve something that people are seeing. Some of those bigger European shows and stuff that, and some of the American shows, etc., that have that open system that people are really starting to like. So.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're really looking forward to sort of talking in more detail about that as more information comes out about that in the future. It's really exciting.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. So so we also hope to, I'm sure we'll lock in another time and have a chat to all the listeners and stuff as we get closer to scale. Like once we've nutted out that process and we can go into it in more depth then. So.
Oh mate, we'll be locking in some time. Don't you worry about that. There'll be more than just locking in some time. There'll be some advertising and all other sorts of stuff flowing through, and perhaps some announcements from our side as to what we're going to be doing when we're up there. So it'll be really cool.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. No. So, as I said, those that missed it, make sure you jump on, follow the Scale Act Facebook page. Like I said, we've got a fantastic main page now with nearly 1,500 people on there. But we really need to get people on that Scale Act page to make sure they don't miss any important information. I think people have been listening. So that's up to about 300 people now too. But we really need people to jump over there and like that, so that we don't have anyone miss out on any important information and be disappointed on the day. So, I'm trying to think anything. Same as last year and the year before. It's online entries only, so they'll open up again probably for about 4 weeks out from the event. So make sure when that happens that everyone just jumps online and registers online to make things on the day a lot smoother for us.
And one of the beauties about being in Canberra, so you're slap bang in the middle of Sydney and Melbourne, so it's not too much of a stretch to get to it from those other sort of major cities. Yeah,
definitely. It's a couple of hours down the road from Sydney, so I think it's about 3.5, 4 hours, depending on where you live. Tiny bit longer from Melbourne, about 6, but like I said, we try and make it, not just about the show. It's about catching up with mates, and building that friendly atmosphere. Make it a really good weekend, not just about attending the show. So,
and if you're smart like Ian and myself, you actually go up on the Friday and you head home on the Monday, so you can make it a really nice, fantastic weekend.
Exactly.
And on your fly, you've actually got written Australia's friendliest scale model show, and I don't think you're far off that mark.
Right on the mark with it.
We try. That's probably the main thing we try to maintain. So we like some of these other shows have been quite big for a long time. We've been. We started off quite small, and I think it's one thing we've always had to comment on about how friendly we are. So we're trying to maintain that as as the event grows through, and how it's developed. So we try and maintain that as a club. Like on a Wednesday night, I think we're up to about 160 financial members now. That's growing.
Wow, 160.
That's impressive.
Yeah. So and obviously, as that group grows, it's we're trying to reinforce that about a balance of being friendly and all that sort of stuff, while achieving what that membership wants us to achieve as well. So
yeah. Well, cool bananas. As I said, we can't wait to get up there. So we've got a couple of other shows between now and you, but it's certainly on the calendar. As I said, our hotel rooms are already booked. So we're going to be there with bells on.
Yep, that we will.
Looking forward to it.
Excellent.
Mate, thanks very much.
Looking forward to seeing everyone.
And we look forward to talking in more detail as we get closer to the date with all the other exciting announcements that you're going to have. And I think if I look in a crystal ball, there's going to be you'll probably have for us some exciting announcements or some exhibits that will be there as well. So
hopefully. We
look forward to that.
Yes, definitely. So, I guess we'll chat soon, and hopefully in the next couple of months we'll have a lot more information for you guys and all the listeners. So thanks so much for your support.
Hey, no problem, buddy.
No worries at all, mate. I'll see you soon.
Excellent. See ya.
See you, mate.
See ya.
Bye.
Gents, we're getting very close to the end of the show.
Yes, we are.
What have you got for us?
Me?
Yeah.
I've got a quiet weekend. Mother's Day tomorrow, so that's tomorrow's day taken care of. Plus, I've got some chores to run at the end of the day once I leave here, and so I definitely won't be getting any modelling this weekend. But I think next weekend's a free weekend, so fingers crossed.
All right,
Julian.
I'll be tinkering away. Yeah, I'll be tinkering away on my Gundam build.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Even though I'm pretty enthused for it. I wasn't at the very start when I started it, but I'm pretty enthused now. It's getting probably getting close to when I should put paint down. Maybe. We'll see. But I do want to get it out of the way so I can work on that Mustang now that I know that there's a purpose for it, you know.
So what are we going to do a Mustang build off?
Well, I mean, like I was going to build it anyway for ACT just because they've got the American car category. Or at least they did. I don't know if they still will, but I mean...
Don't know.
I might do that as like a prepper before I start my GTs.
Yeah?
Take one of my Shelby Mustangs out of the collection and...
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Build one of them.
Go for it, guys.
Yeah.
I'll sit and cheer from the sidelines.
Because I've got a few months. I might even, if I got time, maybe do one of the Edward Zeros.
Oh.
For the other category.
That's the other category again?
Commonwealth Cup.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I think you should just sort of focus on what's next.
Yeah, one kit.
At
first.
least two kits in front, and that's about it, right? Like that's not like.
'Cause I've got 3 kits
Yeah,
on it.
that's
I've got
not
3.
line up.
I've got 3 aircraft kits on the go. I've got that I still haven't finished yet. Still got to do the base for that French World War One.
Don't be like
tank
Dave with about 6 different things on the go.
Yeah, it's like weather forecasting, right? You can only tell what's going to happen next week, right? And then the further out you go, the less likely it is to happen.
Exactly. Yes. Totally agree.
All right, gents, thanks very much for being with us. Don't forget, there are some other fantastic modelling podcasts for you to listen to. Simply go to modelpodcast.com, which is a collaborative website that is hosted by Stuart from Canada. And also he runs the Scale Model podcast as well. If you can, and you know somebody within your model club who doesn't listen to podcasts, just get them involved. Just show them how easy it is.
Clip across the back of the ears and say, hey, get your act into gear, mate.
Yeah, most of our listeners come to us through recommendations of other listeners. So by all means, please spread the word. And we'll be back in a fortnight.
Yep.
And in the meantime, have a great modelling time.
Happy modelling, guys.
See you later.
So.